Now then, welcome to the channel, Lake District. I'm the Walna Scar Road. Now you're going to say, that's not the Walna Scar Road. It is the Walna Scar Road, but it's not the Walna Scar Road that most of you know. This is the Duddon Valley end of the Walna Scar Road. And the plan today is to walk up to the Walna Scar Ridge, and then from there round Pike, up Pike, Dow Crag, down to Goat's Hawse, and then back down the path we came up a few videos ago, down to Seathwaite Tarn, and then from Seathwaite Tarn this track coming back along there. So hopefully we should be able to escape the majority of the crowds doing the Dow Crag and Coniston Old Man route. So let's have a quick look at our route. So, I don't know if you watched or recall a video of mine from a while back where I introduced some navigation. Well, it seems that it's become a bit of a thing with outdoor channels. There's been a few of them started to take the maps and compasses out, but unfortunately they've not all been offering sensible and accurate information. Now there was one site, one channel in particular, I'm not going to name them. There's one channel in particular, he's showing, getting his map and his compass, and he's taking a bearing and walking on that bearing. But he's not even mentioned or adjusted for what's called declination. Now there was a comment on that video saying that what he'd done was dangerous by not accounting for declination. So before we go any further, what actually is declination? Well, in terms of navigation, there's three norths. There's a true north and a grid north. Now these two are fixed points. True north is the North Pole, and grid north is the direction of the vertical lines on your map. Now there's a difference between these two, because your map is a flat surface representing a globe, which is a curved surface. So there is a difference between grid north and true north, and these 2 points are fixed. And the third one is magnetic north, and that's the North Pole of the Earth's magnetic field. Now this moves, so what you've got to do with your compass, because your compass needle will always point to magnetic north, so what you've got to do is adjust your compass to take into account what the declination is in your particular area at that particular time. Now you can find out on web pages, I think British Geological Survey, they have a web page where you can calculate declination. So does NOAA, which I can't remember what that stands for. That's an American site. So you can quite easily find out what the declination is in your area at that particular time and adjust your compass. So once you've found out what the declination is for your area and time, how then do you go about adjusting your compass? Well, there's various mnemonics and sort of aid memoirs as to assist in this task. But the one I use is WAVES, which stands for West Add versus East Subtract. So if your declination is westerly or minus, see this is where it gets maybe complicated, because if it's a negative declination, it's west, but you actually add that to your bearing that you've taken from your map. Whereas if it's an easterly declination, that'll be positive, but you subtract that. So this particular YouTuber, when he got this comment saying his video or his advice was dangerous, he posted another video basically ridiculing that comment, saying he was dangerous. So I put a comment on that video agreeing with the comment, saying that his initial video was dangerous, to which he basically replied that if anybody was naive enough to follow his advice, and it was them that were being dangerous. Absolutely ridiculous. So why is not adjusting for declination dangerous? So if you don't adjust your compass to take into account declination, you're not going to arrive at your intended destination, and the amount that you're going to be out depends on the distance that you're travelling and the angle of declination, which you can see here from this equation. I won't go into, but this is how you can, if you want, calculate how far out you will be if you don't adjust for declination. So this then becomes dangerous. I don't know if you're familiar with the area around Sheffield Pike, Heron Pike. Now I was up there many years ago, before I sort of got into navigation and stuff like that, and you could see about that far. And I'd come down from Sheffield Pike. I was intending to go down the path which goes steeply down from Heron Pike and then over to Glenridding Dodd. Well, I nearly walked straight off the crag at the top of Heron Pike because I'd gone wrong. I wasn't into navigation at that time. I was just trying to follow the track on an old Garmin E-Trex, which had no maps on it or anything like that. Now, if you can see here that from Sheffield Pike to the footpath that goes down Heron Pike, or walking off the end of the cliff on Heron Pike, is a distance of around about 20 metres. Now you only need a 1 degree error in your compass reading if you're navigating on a bearing in reduced visibility to potentially walk off the end of Heron Pike. So that is why not adjusting for declination and not advising in your videos that declination even exists. That is why it is dangerous. So how would you actually adjust your compass for declination? Well, I can't really give you an example here at the moment because declination is only 0.6 degrees at the moment here. So I've created this route card, which is part of the Enchanted Rockies Trail, and declination here at the moment is 7 degrees, which you can see from this highlighted leg. Now the greyed out portion on the left, this is the spreadsheet that I've developed for producing route cards, and this greyed out area, that's just all the calculations that the spreadsheet does, so these columns are normally hidden. But you can see here that the grid bearing for this particular leg is 128 degrees, and the declination is 7 degrees positive, so it's an easterly declination. So we subtract it. So we subtract 7 degrees from the grid bearing that we would have taken with our compass of 128 degrees to give us 121 degrees. So our bearing that we need to walk on with our compass is 121 degrees. So we would set the compass to 121 and follow that bearing. Now we can see here, using that equation from before, that if we hadn't have adjusted our compass those 7 degrees, I mean this trail, it's an off-road, it's not a walking trail, it's an off-road trail. So over the distance of that leg, which I can't remember how far it is offhand, but it'll be on screen, a declination of 7 degrees, if we hadn't have adjusted it, we'd have been over 1.5 kilometres or a mile out in our arrival point. So again, that shows you how important it is to adjust your compass for declination. And we can also see here how declination changes with your location as well. I mean, there's something getting on for, I think, 200 kilometres difference between the leg highlighted in red and the leg highlighted in green here. But still the declination has changed by 1 degree. So yeah, it's vitally important that you do adjust for declination, and it's vitally important that people going out to use a map and compass know about declination, don't get false information, and know how to actually use the map and compass. Right, so we are going to introduce some navigation on this walk. Hopefully we'll have a look at some pacing, some timing, and then using a catching feature. But for now, I'm going to shut up and we'll get on a bit. That's looking back down into the Duddon Valley where we set off from. That's Hawse Fell in the middle. And we carry on up here and then go across there. Now the forecast for today is varying degrees of cloud cover all day, coming and going. It's supposed to drop down to something like 600 metres at times and then clear again up to 900 metres. So cloud cover is here and there all day. The issue at the top is going to be wind. When I looked this morning, the wind forecast for Dow Crag was 35 miles an hour with gusts into the mid 40s. So it's going to be a bit breezy up there. We should be fine. Just plodding our way along. Place to ourselves. Looks like there must have been some mining activity up here at one time. That's spoil heap there. There's a few spoilers over there as well. I'll see if I can find out what it was and pop it on the screen. So we've just wandered off our track a bit to come and have a look at these old workings. I don't know. I've probably already put what it was they were mining or quarrying here, but I think it looks like it was probably slate. Right, so we're not far from the start of leg 3. And when we get there, it rises, but it's not too steep a rise, and it's on a good track. So there's going to be no issues with footing. So we'll have a go at pacing that. Right, so the GPS has just beeped to say that we're at the start of leg 3. So, I mean, you can see where we're going now, straight up this track. But if it was reduced visibility like it looks it might be when we get further up there, and the path that we're going to take to branch off, that might be vague and easily missed, so we're going to pace it now. So I've got some baking beads you use for blind baking. You don't have to use them, you just pick some stones up. So as you can see from the map, leg 3, and from the route card, we've got 462 paces until we branch off to go up to Brown Pike. So I've got 4 beads here, so that'll do me for me 400 paces, and then 62 after that. So every time I get to 100 paces, I'll just swap a bead into the other hand and then start counting again. And a pace is a double pace. It's not like left to right, it's left to left again. It's a double pace. So I've got 60 double paces to 100 meters. So hopefully, like I said, it should take us 462 paces until we get to the path where we branch off. So I won't be able to do any filming on the way up because I'll be too busy counting. So we'll see you up there, hopefully, at the path where we branch off. So we'll catch you up there. Alright, so that's all my beads used up. So I've done my 400 paces from back down there, look. Now, the track here, it steepens a bit now. That's been quite an easy gradient there, so I was fine with me counting my paces there. But this here, it steepens a bit. So what I'm going to do is 10% rule. I'm going to add 10% for shortening of my steps when it gets a bit steeper. So I should have 62 left. So I'm going to count 68 and see where we're at when we get to 68. So we'll see you up there. Charlie. So we've branched off the Walna Scar Road and onto the path that goes up to Brown Pike, and I was a bit out with my paces. It actually took an additional 87. So I might have to remeasure my 100 metres. It's a lot of years since I last did it, and advancing years might have shortened my stride somewhat. So yeah, I'll have to recount my paces over 100 metres and see what it is now, because that was a bit out. And we're in the Clag now, which I was expecting, but there's still nobody about. So when we get up here, I'm going to try and demonstrate a catching point, a catching feature, which I'll talk more about that when we get further up. So we're just below the summit of Dow Crag, and this is a popular feature that makes it onto quite a few YouTube channels down there, to that chockstone thing down there. We're not going down there today though. Far too windy. Right, this way, Charlie. No, hang on. Charlie's on his lead, given the conditions. So while the wind's dropped a bit, I'll just tell you about catching features. Now, a catching feature is anything you can identify both on the map and on the ground, and you can be certain that you can identify it, and if you go past it, you know you've gone too far. Now, if you look at legs 8 and 9 here, you can see by the contours that leg 8 goes uphill all the way up to the top of Dow Crag, and then once you get to the top of Dow Crag on leg 9, you start to descend. So Dow Crag could be a catching feature, because you know that if you start going downhill, you've gone past it and you've gone too far. So that's what a catching feature is. Anything you can identify both on the map and on the ground, and you know that if you go past it, then you've gone too far. Oh, right, you're starting to mist up. I'm starting to mist up. We're near the summit of Dow Crag now. So we'll see you in a bit. Well, that's Dow Crag done. I made a right ass of getting up and down there. Mate, rocks were bloody slippy. Right, so we're going to make our way down to Goat's Hawse now. Maybe get out of the wind down there. I think lunch, I don't know, what time is it now? It's only 22:11. So I don't know what we're going to do about lunch. I was thinking about backside of Seathwaite Tarn. We'll have to see. I'm going to stop for get Charlie a chew, I think, pretty soon. And there's still nobody about, I'm surprised. Right, on we go. We're making our way down to Goat's Hawse, and over my shoulder there is the Old Man of Coniston, and I'm amazed that there's nobody around. I think I can hear some voices over on towards Old Man, but there's nobody here at all, and the wind's dropped off to just about nothing. And I thought we might be getting a view down to Goat's Water. It did look as if it was just going to clear a bit then, but it didn't last long. It's a bit different to last time we were here. It was absolutely stunning views when we came up the way we're going down to Seathwaite Tarn. We came up that way and went over to Brimfell, Swirlhow, Great Cars, then back over Greyfriar. Oh, the views that day were absolutely stunning. I'll leave a link to that video at the end of this one. That was on Armistice Day. Yeah, it was a great day, was that? But I mean, this is great as well, isn't it? I'm loving the peace and quiet. I thought there'd be people around here. We're nearly down into Goat's Hawse now. Oh, we might get a view down to Goat's Water. Right, see you down there. Oh, and look at that. Just as we drop down into the Hawse, we do get a bit of a view, look. So that's a decent view down to Goat's Water. Charlie admiring it. And there's nobody even coming up that path. There's just nobody around today at all. Can't believe it. But up there in the crag, that's Dow Crag where we've just come down from. Right, so we're gonna head over the other side of Goat's Hawse and then down to Seathwaite Tarn. So we've arrived in Goat's Hawse, and this is the start of leg 12, you can see now. So what I'm going to do here, since it's downhill and when we came up this way it's a bit rough I think in places, so pacing might be out of the question, shorter paces as we're going down. Oh, hang on, look, Dow Crag's just starting to clear a bit, look. So yeah, it won't be ideal for pacing. So you can see from the route card that on my walking pace and going down here, that shouldn't be affected. Should take us 12 minutes to get to the path where we branch off left to go along by the side of I can't see without my specs, trying to see what time it is. It's 10:57, so I'll say 10:58 by the time we set off. So 11:10 we should arrive at the point where we need to branch off west to circle around above Seathwaite Tarn. So we'll see you down there. So we've just crossed the beck at the point where we veer off to skirt round above Seathwaite Tarn, and as you can see it's 11:11. So our estimate of 10 past wasn't that far out, and the actual the point where we crossed was a little bit lower down the stream than the waypoint I'd marked on the map. So yeah, that worked. So this is a bit pathless at the moment around here. Well, we stopped for a coffee and a chew that I've been promising Charlie for about the last hour. We've only just picked the path up. I think the actual path on the ground must come off the path coming down from Hawse higher up, and it's actually marked on the map. I mean, there's no dotted black line under the red footpath markings on the map, or the green ones on the 1 to 25s. So that indicates that there's no actual path on the ground, but we've found a path now. And we've just seen 2 people and a dog. That's what made me think that the actual path on the ground was higher up. So we saw them while we were having our coffee, and they were higher up. So yeah, we're on a path now. It's not that far, I think it's only about 2 miles to go, so might be picnicking car time, is it? I mean, we've made good time. It's only 20 to 12 now, so we've made really good time. Might be home in time to watch Leeds in FA Cup. Right, on we go. So we're making our way along above Seathwaite Tarn. It's alright, is this path? Ooh. He says it's a bit rocky in places, like here, and the rocks are rather slippy, but yeah, it's a decent path really. And I can't believe how few people we've seen today. We saw one bloke coming down from Old Man as we were in Hawse, and then these 2 people and the dog that we've just seen here, and that's been it. I couldn't believe coming over to Dow Crag and Hawse there weren't more people around there. Who said this path was alright? Oh, Charlie putting me to shame again. Yeah, it's been a great day. Shame about the views from the tops, but given the forecast I was expecting it to be like that. Right, on we go. So we're on the reservoir access track now, and we follow this all the way back to the car. It's about 1.25 miles. So I'm going to sign off now. We've had a great day. Like I said, shame about the views from the tops, but apart from that, it's been brilliant. Can't believe how quiet it's been. Yeah, no people over Dow Crag and on the way up or down Old Man. Absolutely unbelievable. It's been great. And I mean, the views now, I know you can't see the tops, but well, it's atmospheric, isn't it? Yeah, fantastic. I can recommend this route. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been watching the videos and subscribing and liking. We are making slow but steady progress up the subscriber count. I've started a few new features in the community tab through the week, just as a bit of interest between the videos. On a Monday, I called it Monday Montage, and there's some photos of previous walks. Tuesday, bit of a quiz on a Tuesday. Wordsworth Wednesday for a bit of poetry, seeing as he was from the lakes and a lot of his poems are about the lakes, and some of them have memories for me from school days and English literature exams and things like that. Thursdays, the Where's Charlie's competitions, they're going to be coming out on a Thursday. They'll be the first Thursday of each month. And Friday, there's just a fun Lake District fact on a Friday. Saturday, we'll be out. You can have a day off on a Saturday. And videos will be on Sunday. So hopefully that'll keep people's interest through the week between the videos. I really hope people start to get into this Where's Charlie competition. That'd be great if we could get that going. So now we've had a brilliant time. Hope you've enjoyed it too. If you have, please do the usual. The liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing, all the usual malarkey. And hopefully see you on the next one. Tra!